God bless all of you. Welcome to the hour of power. Now, it's your boy Carcino here. Boy, they've been, man, it's like every day they keep pushing the Casino back further and further, having problems with videos, having bar problems with notifications going out, having problems with everything. They are finding ways to try to hold me back. Why? We're going to talk about it anyway. Stop trying to submerge people from information. The people want to know. Stop trying to withhold them from hearing what they're going to hear anyway. All day, I listen to Kwame, I listen to everyone else's platform, and they wouldn't let me go out and express anything I wanted to express at all. But it's okay because the people are going to find the information and they're going to come anyway. So we're glad y'all doing it because you're only showing and proving what we've been talking about. We're not doing anything that's out of the ordinary. We're not doing anything strange. We're not doing anything crazy. We're just having dialogue. What is wrong with having dialogue? Why are they trying to keep everyone in a box of being scared? What are you afraid of? If y'all so truthful and y'all about honesty, what they afraid of? If you about truth and honesty, then what are you afraid of? Kyrie spoke to the young generation today, and I appreciated that. Kyrie spoke out today, and I don't know if you guys got a chance to really hear it and hear what he had to say, but I want you guys to hear what he had to say. So let's listen.
Sending my prayers up to the Creator, to our ancestors for healing. We all need it about now. You know, they call this the Lord's Day in certain religions, certain parts of our society. So I'm gonna pay my respect and my homage. But
Hit the like button, good people.
shoot, what do I have to tell y'all? Y'all making me forget. Nah, I'm joking. I'm joking. No, I'm just trolling y'all. But shoot, I gotta share something with y'all. It ain't no bad news or anything like that. It's just a reality, right? And I'm gonna ask y'all from my soul to yours. Please do not get distracted out here. Please do not fall victim to what the system is putting out there. It's a lot of misinformation. It's a lot of trauma going around. It's a whole lot happening in our world. And the system wants you to be depressed, wants you to be in a state of being that is low vibrational. All right. It's um it's a change and it's a shift in what's going on in our world right now. And I'm letting you know, I'm not being arrogant or anything like that, but from 1981 to 1996, this millennial generation, I hope y'all know, we're here to shake some shit.
Now, let's pause that there. This was reposted today. This is actually a older video. So I understood that. I already know that. But thank you. But this is an older video. I remember that. But I wanted to say because it was reposted today because it echoes everything that's going on now. So this is why it was posted today, but I'm here to take the notes that was said then because he was speaking to generations. He was speaking to the generation from the 1981, from his era, what that generation need to do. Because I've told people this in my hip hop videos that I've made, and I said, we failed that generation. My generation failed that generation. The Nas, the Jay-Z's, all of them, they failed that generation that came after them. And it echoes from the parents, everybody in that generation failed this generation that took over. And let me explain what that means. That generation from the 80s that he's speaking about, that little order right there on the cusp, that generation needed to wake up, because if that generation gets to where it's supposed to go, it excels. See, in the 80s, those rappers were from the 70s. Like, those were the 70s, baby. So they remember all the fight and all the struggle, the unity, and everybody together. So when they rapped about what was going on in their environment. They were fighting against injustice. They was fighting against drugs in the community. The songs were about standing up, having respect for yourself. The women rapped about being respected. They didn't rap about being hoes. They didn't rap about, "Ooh, I'm a hoe, let me do that." Yeah. They didn't do all that stuff. They rapped about having respect for yourselves, being treated fairly. They wanted those qualities to echo who they were as people. Then, as it started to go into the frame of money, they started throwing dollars at anybody who was talking different from that, because we were rallying people to make change in their communities. Hip hop was that generation that was making changes within people's households. They didn't want that. They wanted the divisiveness. They wanted NWA. They said, "Hey, who is that? Let's get them the money." They wanted to take anything that was divisive of that and talk negative, spread the negative messages. We want all of that going. Let's push those records, because that's what's going to help us get to our goals. So these records was pushed. When Dr. Dre went over there, when Interscope didn't even have any money. They had to go borrow money. They were a record company that put out all these records that wasn't selling no records. They got them. Next thing you know, Dr. Dre, Chronic, boom, it's everywhere. They wanted to keep pushing all of this raunchiness. So the next generation after them that came along, the attitude wasn't unity no more. It was only my crew. You ain't from my block, F you. Got my crew. That's it. It ain't no love. Biggie told y'all. Biggie was like, "Man, I thought it was like, man, Heavy D hang out with Salt and Pepper, and like, you read the Right On magazines and see all the rappers together. He just think it's one love." And he's like, "I got here and it ain't like that at all." He was like, "Look, you hang out with your crew, you keep it moving, and that's it. We don't deal with them." And that singularity destroyed the entire game, because now that y'all are individuals, no unity, it's easier to divide. Throw them some money. Just say F them. Bet. You get somebody like Jay-Z. Cool. Pay him. He gonna make sure he's gonna follow suit. He's never gonna question the power. Those are the people they want in control. Anybody talking that unity, they out the door. Positivity, out the door. We can cut them right off. And now, because they weren't about anything, when they got the big money, they didn't say, hey, we got to go back and get those old guys. Those guys who was spitting the real, like Chuck D and all them. We need them on the records. Chuck D should have been on everybody's record. They should have made sure Chuck D had a record. Melly Mel was on the record. They should have made sure all those dudes was never going to be forgotten. But they was thinking, my money, my crew, this is it. Meanwhile, forget them old time dudes. They talking old stuff. They told a certain rapper not to go to the hip hop honors and be on stage with the older rappers because it would ruin them. People make them think they old, so they rejected going to the hip hop honors to be on stage performing with their elders. Meanwhile, nobody say that for any other industry. You see doggone Bruce Springsteen out there singing with some of these young Ariana Grande with all these older artists. They promote that all the time. They be like, Sting! He's out here. Every breath you take. And they be loving it. They be, it's Sting! But we can't go and honor our past, the people we grew up on their music. We can't go grab them because it make us look old and weak. And we fall for that. And we all got the money though. They didn't get the money. They created the platform so y'all can get the money. And y'all got the money. And what did y'all do with it? Y'all act foolishly. Y'all went from gold to rocking platinum. Yo, it's gold, man. Now it's like gold out the door. Now let's get platinum. Yeah, I got the platinum watch with the platinum chain, but then you have nothing to pass on to your legacy, to your children. You have no wealth. Your wealth is done. When you're through, your records ain't spinning no more. They go grab another one. Then your money dwindle down, and then you right back in the hood where you started. And only thing you got to pass on to your children is the fame of your legacy, of what you used to be. So your children grow up riding the success of your fame. Saying, oh, this is the son of so-and-so. So he rides off your fame, hoping to do the same thing you did, so he'll get a deal. Because he didn't prepare for nothing in the future. And it's a losing cycle. So that generation is lost because we, as people, we became more individuals than unified. The 80s was like that. We failed them. I've stated this time and time again, and people don't get it. But we failed them, bro. When crack hit, yeah, it went off like a bomb, but we were mentally prepared to have people in the street that was telling the message. It wasn't as detrimental as it was in certain areas. Like on the West Coast, crack was more detrimental than it was anywhere else in the world because that's like where the hub of it was. It came from Cali. It didn't come from up here. But so it wasn't up here as everywhere as it was in Cali. In Cali, it decimated them tremendously. Like in the Bay Area and out there, that's where it bred from. So when the epidemic came from there, it spread it and went off like a bomb. Then the whistleblower the man who exposed how it all got into the neighborhoods and the whole drug epidemic and how it was funded by the Central Intelligence Agency, and how a guy that we knew named Freeway was mixed up in all of that. And y'all watched some of it on a show called Snowfall. Now, there was a reporter who risked his life and lost his life reporting this and bringing all of this to the forefront. They made a movie about his life called Kill the Messenger. Gary Webb, absolutely. Now, here's the news, people, because I want y'all to understand it and understand clearly where we're going with this. What they did today was took a video I made and they basically put it on hold. They want to inspect the video now because the past 2 days I went after their two prized possessions: LeBron James, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Now, if you didn't see the Kareem Abdul-Jabbar video, you are missed out on one of my most explosive videos I've ever made. And they're mad because they can't do nothing about it because it's factual. They tried to go and do anything they could, but they couldn't because it was factual. Now, for people who don't know me now, they should. You guys should know me by now. I've been doing this for about, 2005, 2006? So if I was someone, because they love to be dismissive, the same way they're dismissive with Kyrie Irving, they're dismissive with me. Being dismissive is a way to just not deal with the situation. They'll just say, man, you be lying and making stuff up. They just say that and throw that out there and just walk off. If I was just lying to make things up, that would be the easiest job in the world to do. Because I could easily get proven wrong. And that would be it. That would be the end of me. I would have no credibility. No one would come here and listen. They'd just be like, this dude just lied. I got to go. But they know I don't. This is why they come here. So they know, like, man, I've been watching this dude for years, and all this stuff ended up getting proven down the line that he was right. So he wasn't lying. Because it makes no sense. It don't make any sense to lie. So what Kyrie Irving was saying back on this older video is he was echoing what needs to happen. His generation needs to shake things up.
We're here to shake some stuff up. But in order to shake some stuff up, right? And the next generation, Gen Z, is going to come right after us, so they're watching us, right? And you got my kids' generation, which is very young. But I got on here to say this: please do not get distracted out here, emotionally, spiritually, because the system itself is, is dying. It is dying. Old ways of living, the old ways of doing things. It's not gonna last for too much longer, y'all. I'm just saying. And I don't know anything, right? I don't know all the answers to what's going on, but I'm saying this to y'all specifically because it's important that those that understand that are aligned and what's going on around here, that y'all paying attention, because without us making a change right now and shifting our consciousness, our kids they're gonna fall victim to this system too. And the system I'm talking about it's a myriad of objective topics that we follow since we were kids, which is sex, love, relationships, religion, culture, class, finance, entertainment, media, social platforms at this point. Please do not fall victim to these things that are being manipulated and controlled. Please do not. Please do not. We have so many truth tellers out here that are doing the right things. You know, and I could point them out, but you have to have your own level of discernment once you're uh, consciously awakened to what's really going on. And I could go on and on, but look, I have to speak in general topics because it gets too mixy. You know what I'm saying? But I hopped on here specifically to share something with y'all. My generation, the millennial generation, we got to be better. We got to be better.
And right there, what he was saying. The generation under him needs to step up. The generation under him needs to be coming up to the forefront. Yes, my cash app is Carcino. Thank you. Has Kyrie Irving talked himself out of the league? The league of what? Has Enes Cantor talked himself out of the league? You see, that's the problem. And the NBA has did this because it's supposed to be about basketball. It's supposed to be the National Basketball Association, right? Not niggas better apologize association. Right? Supposed to be the National Basketball Association. We should be talking about a game that's coming up. But we can't talk about a game because y'all put the focus here. So it's not the National Basketball Association. It's niggas better apologize. So if we doing that, then what are we saying? What are we saying to the rest of the world? We're not promoting our game. We're promoting conflict and drama. Oh, Donnie, don't worry. I know you was asking the question. No problem. Nobody was coming after you. I know, but that's why I say make sure you subscribe, hit that notification bell. And if you don't get your notification, hit them up and say, hey, I'm not getting my notifications. When they say send feedback, put my link there saying I didn't get my notification for this channel and I want to know why. I got a video right now. I'm going to put it on the Patreon. It was about Jay Williams, right? And what he said about Kyrie Irving, standing up for Kyrie Irving. And I remember saying he was the first one to actually bring up the Amazon situation. None of them dudes had ever did it. I made a mistake in the beginning, but I understood what he was saying. Oh, we're going to get to that because this is what the whole thing is about. The NBA is about promotion. And because Adam Silver's slipper is all about this fake activism with the BLM and all this other nonsense and showing like they support, but behind the scenes, they don't give a damn. So that's the problem that the league has now. They try to show, they care more about trying to have the image of showing that they are inclusive and that they care rather than actually showing or being in the situation that they actually care, period. So now we're in a situation of reality where politics control the game. Enes Cantor pointed out all of these different things, and he was ostracized once China said, if he ain't off the Boston Celtics, we through with y'all. And they cut off all the Boston Celtics games. The NBA panicked. And they cut Enes Cantor off. And next thing you know, China put the games back on, and the Celtics are in the NBA Finals. So politics, right? They show you who has the power. And they succumb to the power all the time. Now, why did they give him a 5-game suspension And Adam Silver said, I'm going to come talk to you after the suspension or doing this. I'm going to talk to you next week. Why did he say next week? Because they didn't want Kyrie Irving, and I want you to hear this now. They didn't want Kyrie Irving being able to do press conferences and talk and cause all of this people to question why they coming after him like this when they have an election coming up with a lot of Jewish candidates running for election. They didn't want the blacks to say F y'all and not vote for their Jewish people that are running for office. That's what that was about. They wanted us to still go out and run and vote for the Jewish people running for office. And if Kyrie Irving, and they saw the Jewish people coming down on him some more and all of these things in the public for just really not saying anything, this was causing a problem for the election. And the NBA is all about the election. This is why they had no games yesterday, because they want people to go to the polls, right? No other sport did that. College basketball played, they didn't give a damn if you had to vote or what. College basketball kicked off, they ain't got no plans of doing that. They want you to go out there and be able to run out and vote. All of this discord is unifying the brothers to say, hey man, F y'all. So they scared. We ain't gonna go vote for them because we're rallying behind Kyrie. And the election's coming up. So Adam's like, I'll talk to you next week. But we're gonna suspend him for 5 games. So he don't have to do press conferences, nothing. Now, what Numbnuts did was come out and put out a list for him to have to follow to get back on the team. Now he really rallied the brothers against him. And that was mistake number 1. And Adam Silver said, we'll work on that. We'll work on that. They just trying to get through the election, and hopefully now that the election is over, we can work on this now. But you were causing a problem for your Jewish partners. You said Rahm Emanuel covered up a blasting in Chicago until after his election, playing politics. Of course. But do you know who Rahm Emanuel is? Rahm Emanuel is the best friend of Barack Obama, right? From Chicago. Barack Obama took him to the White House. He was in the White House. Daley retires. They had no Democrat strong enough to keep it out of the mayor, out of the hands of the Republicans. A Democrat has been the mayor since I can remember them being a Republican mayor. So knowing that this is the first time they might not have a candidate to be mayor, he sent Rahm Emanuel from the White House to Chicago to be the mayor, and he didn't even want the damn job. He said, look, you got to do this for us. We need it for the team. The Democrats need you. We'll take care of you, Rahm. Now, let's get even more into that. Who is Rahm Emanuel's brother? Ari Emanuel. The same Ari Emanuel that's trying to strip Kanye West of everything. He's the guy behind the scenes of the entertainment world, stripping everybody down. Behind the scenes with emails, calling Adidas, calling them, trying to get everybody around to strip Kanye West down. That's Ari Emanuel. Brother to Rahm Emanuel. Best friends to Barack Obama. The reason Barack Obama has so much good press and have so many connections in the entertainment world. So yes, this is why they did this. All of this incident happened right around the election, which was really bad for them. So if a lot of people are out of office, they're going to blame Kyrie Irving for that. So the sit down in the meeting is trying to smooth this thing over because they want Kyrie Irving back in the NBA, buddy. Believe me, they want this thing over with. Because now what they're doing is pissing off the brothers. Numbnuts Sean Marks was stupid enough to put that remark out there to the public and put demands. Demands. Wow, that was a heck of a reach. So on the Patreon, I'm going to put that video that they did not want out there to the rest of the world, or they're taking their time to review. Okay, while you review it, my Patreons get to see it. All the tears, you get to see it. Don't worry, I'm putting it out so you guys can see it first. And whenever they get to make their decision, y'all already have it. I ain't got time to deal with them. That's why I got the Patreon. See, I told you. So that's what this meeting talk was about. He's going there to kiss Kyrie's ass, let him know how much he cares about Kyrie and all of these things. They was like, they had a very productive meeting. Yeah, but in public, it wasn't like that. When you made your public statement. Yes, the Casino for Life Patreon. Yeah, it's in the banner below. Well, in the video that I'm gonna put on the Patreon, I show a lot of things that they probably don't want you to see. So I already know why they're reviewing everything and element in the video. That Kareem Abdul-Jabbar video just did that. Right. Kwame Brown, another athlete who was crucified because I guess he wasn't an NBA All-Star. He didn't become the player that they wanted him to be. So he became the butt of all their jokes. Stephen A. Smith had 20 years of bashing this player, choosing to bash him at every chance he could get, as he was the worst player to ever play in the game, as the worst number one pick in the game, which wasn't even true. There were number one picks that didn't even last 3-4 years, but they was out of the league. This man played over 10 years in the league. Believe me, that's a long time. And under the conditions he had to play under, many would have folded and been out of the league. Now, the subject always gets to be the main question, right? And when everybody will say, man, what's the main question here? What is the main theory? What is the main point? We want to get to that. The main point is you don't have to settle. That's the point. You don't have to settle. You don't have to settle. You don't have to take anything. So when LeBron spoke out about Kyrie Irving, he speaks as if he's his elder. You're the elder statesman that don't know anything. You're not enlightened. You operate out of fear. He doesn't operate out of fear. So you don't understand his frequency. You don't know where Kyrie Irving is talking about. It's unrelated to you because you come from a realm of fear. And that's where they kept you your entire career, LeBron, out of fear. You wish you could be like Kyrie, but you're like, I don't understand how he could do this. They could take it all away. It just don't make sense because it doesn't make sense to you. Your ideology of what an athlete is supposed to be is the reason why they chose to put you there. You are a fraud. You've been a fraud since high school. You've been a fraud, period. They've used you as a propaganda piece to market and save their league that was dying. What was supposed to be Kobe's, they gave to you. Kobe had the Colorado incident, and that messed up the transition from Jordan to Kobe. That was disrupted. And because of that disruption, see, if that had happened now, oh, Kobe still be the greatest thing on earth. But because it happened then it was a Colorado girl. Oh, we got to make an example. And what did the league do? Did not support its athlete. They wanted to keep it quiet. So we can't give them MVP awards. We can't do any marketing or advertisement of him. But we need this team to go to the finals. How are we going to get around all this? So for the whole year, it was nothing but the court case, the drama, all of this stuff going on. They brought in Karl Malone, Gary Payton to try to change the narrative. Karl Malone had more talking points, and he talked about him and spoke about him more than they ever spoke about Shaq, and more than they all often spoke about Kobe Bryant. Well, that's what happens when you deal with people who they don't value other people's opinions. Nothing at all. They don't value it. So people are allowed to do and get away with things that other people wouldn't. Mac Mizzle. All right, we got to get Mac Mizzle back, man. Well, it's been a lot of people just gone for no reason.
My millennial generation, we got to be better. We know too much of the truth, and sometimes that will put us in places where we're fearful or we have anxiety.
Yep.
And in order to make an impact out here that is generationally sound, where it lasts for not just one generation, but for 7 to 10 to 20 generations now, we have to break free mentally, spiritually, emotionally, physically. You know what I'm saying? It's not easy to do it but we have people out here that are willing to extend a helping hand and do it, you know? And I went live on this main page because I know that, some people are going to take this as, oh man, this guy's, what is he talking about now? This guy thinks he's, and it's like, it's not even about that. I don't even have energy to give that to, or to give to that today, or any point in my life.
That's right.
But I will tell you this, we got to be better. We have to protect our youth. We have to protect our ways of life. We have to protect the kids that are looking up to us. So my millennial generation, this is a call out to you. No, real talk. This is a shout out to you. As Gen Z's watching and our older generation is waiting for us to take control of the wheel and lead our world into new places, new ways of thinking, because it's not happening, without the proper techniques and strategies. It's not happening if we're not prepared. So, and I say my generation because the millennial generation is because we help create a lot of these social platforms. We help create a lot of these trends. We help create a lot of these, new ways of doing things. Like I'm not saying that arrogantly, but from 1981 to 1996 is specifically for y'all.
And see, he specifically brought that up because that's true. Most of those innovators came from those years that ended up creating social media, that end up creating this new way and this new wave that this generation follows today. And we have to be better, because if you look at all the other races that came from 1981 to 1996, you start looking at what they have that everyone else don't seem to have. And that was the destruction of the Black family that happened and affected the children of the 80s. So you had more rebelliousness, you had more single mothers raising children. And the sons, once he get of age, he feels like I can bully or intimidate mom. I don't gotta listen to her. I can run the street, do what I want. I'm a grown man. And you have a bunch of women trying to raise children, and grown men staying at home more. See, back in the days, in the 70s and the 60s, men were out the house, married, had their own families by 21 years of age. They was out the house. Wasn't a lot of them hanging around. They was moved on. Some moved out at 18. They was a man. You see, so as society goes and they keep trying to preach this underage thing, how old was Mary when she gave birth to Jesus? Do anybody want to take a shot at that? Our Savior, the Lord of Lords, when the Christ was born, how old was Mary? Somebody said 16, someone said 13. Well, from my recollection, she was 14 years old. I could be off, but she was 14. Amelia Dixon, John S. Jr. So, according to my knowledge, she was 14. By 14, she was already married with her man, her husband. So, my thing is, this was a common thing. Once a woman went through her first, what they call their period, that was their join to say they were ready for motherhood. They have became a woman. That's what that meant back in those days. Like, okay, she's bleeped. Okay, this is it. Now you've stepped into motherhood. Womanhood. You're a woman now. So that meant they were ready for marriage, ready to start a family. So it wasn't just them. Back in those days, at 15, they were able to have wives, everything. It's still like that in some African villages. And they want to try to change that. Still to this day, they don't think it's right. They're trying to modernize a lot of these African communities. What's incorrect, Lynn Nicole? What is incorrect? I would love to know. Her age is incorrect. What then? How old was she then, Lynn? But the point is, when we'll wait on Lynn to give her the recollection of the age. I don't recall ever seeing an exact age, but there is an age of maturation. Okay. Lynn, I thought you had a number, but you knew I was wrong. But you say you cannot give an exact age. According to Christianity.com, she was 15 to 16. So some say 14, but the point is the exact number of the age isn't the point. The point is she was young. And at that point, she's having her own children. And now, in today's status, we call that a child. But back then, there were leaders, kings, queens, pharaohs at 14, 13. This happened. They were leading the nation as children. So, as we've gotten older and went through the generations, the maturity level is going further back in age. Now we're calling 28-year-old men babies. Oh, he's 28. He's still a boy. He's still learning. 28? So, what we're saying is this is happening more with our people, our community, the brothers, more than any other race from 1980s to now. This is the point that we were making. Just the example. I want to be clear. I don't want people to lose anything. Because now we're getting to the good part. Now, this is where it gets to the good part. Now, you look at the Hispanics, right? From 1981 to 1996, the Hispanics has grown with businesses that they own, landscaping, real estate, higher jobs as far as managers, general managers, kids going to college from 81 to 1996. Restaurants, businesses. Do you know why? The average age for a Hispanic to move out of their house and start their family, 21 years of age. 21, they're gone. They got their own house, business, and everything. They start working like 13, 14 years old. They're helping dad with his independent business. Why? Because the majority of them knew family. We need a family in order to win and succeed. The wife works, I work, we all got to sacrifice. They come home on lunch breaks and fix dinner for the family. Spend a 20, 30-minute break, fix dinner for the rest of the family. They got a daughter, whoever's the oldest, he's 12 or whatever, he got to watch the rest of the kids while mom and dad works. They understood. We have to do this. It was about the family. That's how they did it. Landscaping used to be our thing. Construction, that used to be our thing. Plumbing, electricians, we used to do all of it. Now, these generations don't know how to do anything to survive. They don't know how to garden. Oh man, men and women knew how to garden. In the era before me, all men and women could cook, they could do cars, they could do anything. You know about 5 dudes who could fix a car. They would walk around and give advice. If they see the car broke down, they'd be walking around. Oh, that's the crank shift. See that? Hear that sound? Yeah, that's crank shift right there. They didn't need anything plugged up to a computer. What's up, Jonathan? He said, I see it all here in the streets of Mexico City. The family all operates as a unit. That's right. Shouts out to Jonathan for doing that. Palestinians can farm. Everybody can farm because it's survival. You're teaching these things as a surviving tactic. Like saying, hey, if this don't happen, this was gonna happen. See, brothers don't have to hook stuff up to the computer. We can tell you flat out if something broke and it ain't working right. I learned from my grandfather how to know the alternator wasn't working. I didn't have to take the alternator off to realize the alternator wasn't working. It's a very simple technique. You don't need a computer. You don't need anything. If you start your car and you remove the red or the black charge from the battery that connects it to the car, you take that thing off and the car is not still running and it dies out, your alternator's dead. Your alternator does not work. Clear as day. If the car is still running with the power taken off, your alternator is working. So it ain't the alternator. It's doing its job. So a lot of people don't even know those little basic techniques. They think it's got to be on a computer and it's got to tell them, well, it's kind of low, it's going to go. No, that tells you right there if the alternator is good or it's bad. That would tell you if it's the battery or the alternator. Black folks don't believe in buying a new battery. Black folks will ride a bad battery, will know it's bad, and ride that bad battery until it explodes. I swear, we will jump that car 1,000 times. No, 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 it can go. Keep going. No, no, this battery, trust me, I've had it since 1992. It still got some juice. Come on, baby. Go. Come on, sugar. Man, they will ride that battery to the end. But gardening, we had to know how to do these things because most of us come from down south. Our relatives come from down south. They did the great migration up here when they opened the factories up, and they need people to work in these factories. So they start bringing up the brothers to come work these factories who could work those hard labor hours. Right. The diagnostics test is supposed to make it a lot easier for you to have to go in and do the things that you do. But the sound of something can tell you what isn't working. Like street mechanics and people from down south, they can hear if something's not, oh, it's not catching. It's the fuel injection pump. They know right away. See how it's coming in like that? That's the fuel injection. Yeah, you need a fuel injection pump. See, it's supposed to come all the way up here and see the fuel ain't coming in here. Something's blocking it. You got some gunk or whatever caught up in there. You can get some in there to try to fix it, but I think you need a new fuel injection. They tell you that right up, boom. In 10 seconds, they can dictate the problem. And they'll prove it to you. They would take the top off where the gas is supposed to go, spray that with some doggone stuff that's like fuel, spray it, and the car would run, and the engine would be going. They'd be like, yeah, it's working. Yep, I know. See? Then he'll take it off, stop. He's like, now watch this. It dies out. Yeah, your fuel injection. Your fuel injection messed up. So just go ahead and get it. You can get the new fuel pump. You need a fuel pump. That one's probably worn out. They know all of these techniques. How do you think they know all of these transitions, all of these, what they call home remedies? Who invented home remedies? We did. We couldn't afford to go to a doctor. We had to learn from generations before us. We had an upset stomach. We knew baking soda and warm water. Take some warm water with some baking soda, whatever. Some water, baking soda, just a little bit. Swallow that. That make you burp up, give up all the gas. And it'll smooth your stomach out, coat your stomach out, and you're good. We ain't had Pepto-Bismol yet. Didn't have the Pepto. Home remedies became a thing that we used to do because we used to take jobs like my grandmother did. She used to babysit and house sit and will take houses and take care of the houses of the rich folks that live out here where I live now. She used to babysit their kids. They used to all have black nannies and they would do the cooking, the cleaning. They would clean their houses and everything. That was going on a lot. They would come from the projects, take the buses and trains and come all the way out here. And my grandmother worked for lawyers, doctors. Salt water was good for toothache, exactly. But it also was good for if you had a cold or any type of virus, you would take salt with warm water and gargle it. Gargle it and do that for about 5 minutes. Any sore throat that you had would normally be soothed. It would break up the cold that you have in your chest. Normally, they would take Before it was Vicks, they would take one of those heating bags with warm water, put that on your chest, wrap it around, and it would break up any of the cold that you had in your body, keeping your body warm. We had to learn these techniques to take care of ourselves from home remedies. Headaches. A lot of people put ice on their head for a headache, right? Black people knew ointments and all these different things that you learned. We help teach people in science with all of these things from Africa, from Haiti, everything of using trees, leaves, and all of these different things. Why do you think mint tea and mint water is very good for you? It opens up your pores that are clogged up and closed, where a lot of oxygen isn't getting in through from whether it's phlegm or just being clogged up from all of this different toxins you're breathing in. So the mint water opens up your pores. The aloe, somebody brought up aloe, which is true. Aloe for your skin. We was introducing that plant life element to the lotions and the skins and how we had moisturization and how to keep your body moisturized. We brought that to the table. A black man invented spark plugs. I can't make this up. A black man invented spark plugs. You can look that up right now. We invented spark plugs to make the transmission run and the engines run like they run today. Black man came up with that idea of making the spark plugs to keep the electricity so it can just, we did that. We got in there and said, man, this thing riding slow as hell. I know we can get this thing moving. Hello? Yes. Is there a problem? I'm all right, but I'm in the middle of work. Yeah. I guess what's tomorrow? Thursday? Yeah, call me tomorrow a lot earlier. Cause I thought I got all my benefits already. I thought, but we can go over it tomorrow. Ooh, 10 a.m. Oh no, we sure can't. We can probably do that in the afternoon, like somewhere around like 1 or something. All right, but 10 in the morning. I'm not gonna get up 10 in the morning to talk to you. Oh, we sure can. All right, the air conditioning. We had to come up with all these things. The clocks. We invented a lot of things with our ingenuity and technology. We've lost our identity in these fields, and that is because we keep waiting, and we become the more like passive, whiny tradition. And this is what Kyrie Irving is trying to get people out of. Stop being this passive, whiny person. They ain't gonna give us our reparations. They don't want to give it to us. So that ain't no excuse for you not to be a man. You don't wait around for nobody to give you nothing. Yeah, they owe us, but what you gonna do? Stand around and do nothing till somebody pay? You got bills to pay. You are a man. You gotta provide. You gotta keep moving. Hell, we've all lost jobs. I've lost jobs. I had to work for jobs that I paid 3, 4 times less than I was supposed to be paid. But my mind state wasn't where there was. That was just like, oh, I got to do this for now to keep the bills paid while I keep working on getting out of this hellhole to do what I got to do. So it's not about race, it's about the conditions. If you think about all the people that are doing something, most white, Caucasian, Jewish, whatever, they have family structure. They stick together. They stick together. Unity, synergy, family. That is what they do. They stick together because of family. You look at anybody else, Ukrainian, family, whatever, they even got their flags or whatever. It's about unity. Us, it's about division. They the ops. They against me. They this and that and now. Yo, the block over there, I can't stand that block. You warn with your own kind for no reason. None of y'all own a block. It ain't your block because you live on it. You don't own a block. He ain't your op. The op is the reason you have no jobs and you out doing what you're doing right now. That's your op. The reason that you have no education, you can't go to a school, they closed it down. So that's your op. Look at that. See? And Kyrie is bringing up the conversation. All of this is what they did was wake people up. It started to wake people up the way they start seeing him being treated unfairly and unnecessarily, and because they were taking things way too far. This is where they got their arrogance made a huge mistake. Their arrogance, their proudness, and wanting to make an example of Kyrie Irving, they awoken some people, that sleeping giant starting to awake. And when the sweet sleeping giant awakes, a lot of people are going to be in trouble. A lot of things of what they believe in, a lot of things that people were following who would sleep will wake up, and everybody's in trouble. Because if that sleeping giant wake up and realize we got to stay unified and we don't need everybody else to help, then it's going to be a whole nother party. It's not about what I believe, it's about what I know. See, when you know something, you don't have to believe. See, you saw the game and the Lakers game the other night, right? And you saw that they lost. So I can't come here and try to make you believe that they won, right? I mean, no, the Lakers won that night. And you like, I saw it. They lost. I literally saw the game. They lost. I can't make you believe something if you know it. So if you know something, I can't make you believe it. So I know already what I am and where I come from and where my ancestors come from. You can't make me believe that I'm not or it's wrong if I already know it. So if a man say he's from something else, that's from his beliefs or what he knows to be his truth. Who are you to tell him that he's wrong? I don't sit around here going around telling people they wrong on that. I can tell you this, Jay Will did the right thing. And it probably awakened something in him. It awakened something in him. He saw something. He probably had experiences in his life that this resonates perfectly with him. Because you got to remember, they could have done him dirty. But they chose. They made a conscious decision and chose to keep him. Oh, look at that. Right when I said I was going to put it on the Patreon, you know what they did? They went ahead and approved the video. Oh, ain't that nice? So y'all will get to see the Jay Williams video. They realized I didn't do anything wrong. Okay, let's see how long that lasts. You already know, right? Yeah, it's the setup punch. Okay, they approved the video now, so I won't put it on the Patreon now. It'll definitely be up there. Now, Kanye is a man who has no knowledge. He's learning about himself. He's going off of what other people have told him. Kyrie Irving has actually studied, and for people to come out and call him an idiot and call him out of his name, like that is so dismissive, and it's coming from our people, which is even more disturbing. And all he's calling is for generations to wake up, to be better people.
Please, 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 please educate the youth the right way. Please, please, we are star seeds just like Gen Z is, just like our elders were. We are star seeds. We returned here for a bigger purpose. That a lot of this Instagram live will go over people's heads, but that's okay. That's okay. Not everybody's going to get the fight. Not everybody's going to get into the war. Not everybody's fearless out here. You know what I'm saying? I'll be more specific when I say this. I'm getting a lot of wisdom from the elders, and they're telling me that this generation that I'm in, and I'm talking about born from 1981 to 1996, that if we don't get our stuff together and start making a conscious effort to change the ways of living out here, we will be doomed. If we keep living the same lifestyle that we looked at when we were kids and saw like, oh, this is popping, oh, this is one of the people I need to follow. Like, think about social media in general. Like, you guys are just, we're just following. And I say you guys, no, we are just following people. We're just following people. That is a level of influence that can be dangerous if it's not poured in the right places. And I woke up with this on my spirit because I had to let it off. You know, this was what was called to me this morning. I don't know what exactly, but this is what has been called for me to share with you guys. The elder generation is saying it's time to wake up. Wake up. Wake up. I'm not going to tell y'all what to do. I'm not going to tell y'all how to live, what to think. But our millennial generation, this is specifically being accountable for us. We can't try to force our thoughts and our ways on anybody else, but we have to know that the right way is already in us. Feel me? That's why you have to be rooted and grounded in who you are. I'll tell you this is my last thing before I hop off live. I wake up every single day knowing that my skin color is something that is hated on. My culture is something that has been pushed underneath the rug. They're now changing history to be forgotten about. And that's why I'm saying this generation, this millennial generation, specifically us, if we allow them to cover up all the history and all the things that have happened to our human race and what has been done, we will be doomed. That's all I'm saying.
Yep. Now, did he say anything in there that was offensive to the Jewish people? No. Did he say anything in this statement that had anything to do with hate towards anybody? No. Kyrie Irving has never done that because he does not hate people. He's speaking of love of our people or of ourselves. Something that everybody else do every day, and it's all cool. They got Mexican pride, right? They got the kiss me, I'm Irish. Nobody says, well, that's very out of control. Why would you say something like that? I even saw the F me, I'm Irish stickers. They proud. Nobody says nothing about that. They Ukraine and strong and all of this, it's perfectly okay. The moment someone tries to speak positivity towards their own race of people, they got to be hateful against somebody. Why? When it's us? Why are they so afraid of Black people speaking positivity to other Black people? I don't understand it. I don't understand it. They have to make it make sense. And then they get other people to follow this trend. And they get people that look like us. They don't do that. They get people that look like us who they pay on their shows to come out and do that. And that's why I was so disappointed in Shannon Sharp. Because I said, Shannon Sharp, you know better. You know better. You know way better than this. Your grandma would not be proud to see what you just did with Kyrie Irving. He's an idiot, Skip. What was he an idiot about, Shannon? What was he unenlightened about? You act like he was a crackpot who just walked up in and don't know anything about anything and just start speaking. Do you know he actually takes this spiritual journey rather, and he has been doing this for years. He's become enlightened. He learned about how his family is part of an Indian tribe. He went and located the tribe. Did you know that he's actually done this? He's learning how to keep his body intact by fasting and doing all these different things to change his diet up. And in the playoffs, you seeing him like trying to learn how to adjust playing basketball while fasting, something Akeem Olajuwon did because Olajuwon was doing it his whole life. Kyrie learned about himself. So he didn't just wake up and decide to start talking like Kanye West did. Kanye West just found some other people around him and just start talking. But Kanye thing is self-centered because it's all about him. When Kanye West gets in trouble with the same people he wants praise from, then he comes out and be like, no, they want me because they know I'm this and that. He wants to go and start saying all these things. This is why I don't put these two people in the same boat, because they're not. Kanye's here. Kyrie is here. They have the same problem, but different results they want with the situation. This dude want to be in line with them so bad, he want them to give him and see them in the same light as they see themselves. That's never going to happen. But you want their approval so much. That's Kanye. Kyrie just wants respect as a man, and he wants the embetterment of our people. That's it. It's like, look, just give me my respect. You got your respect. I didn't disrespect your culture. I didn't do anything. He didn't. You are more mad at him than I've never even heard them mention the person that made the documentary. I never mentioned them actually going to get that documentary taken down. If it meant so much and it was so hurtful, why aren't you putting all your energy and money into it? Because you're getting paid off of it. So if you ain't take the video down, I can't take you seriously. If it's still on Amazon, then I don't take your hurt seriously. How is Kyrie tripping? I don't think Kyrie tripping. Y'all think he tripping? All right, let's let Kyrie cook some more.
So all the young kids that may not understand it yet, that's fine. You're gonna come into this. But to my generation, be better. Be better. Do not get distracted out here. Do not get,
right.
Do not get to a place where you're stagnant. We have a lot of entrepreneurs. We have crypto. We have NFTs. We've redefined art. We have the metaverse coming. We have all these great things coming. You know what I mean? But still, when chaos happens and trauma happens, we revert back to our old ways. They're trying to do everything possible in order to keep us in a low vibrational state. A low vibrational state. If you don't know what a low vibrational state of being is, please go look it up. But specifically talking to my generation right now, that if we do not teach our kids the truth of this world and what has happened and what has taken place, it will be lost in history. We will be lost. We will be the generation that's lost in history. Black, white, red, yellow, no matter what color you are, there has been some type of part of your history or our human history that has been erased for purposes that go way beyond our understanding. And I won't tell you that I know everything. I know nothing, right? I know nothing. I'm just a star in the universe. But what I do know is when I'm called to share things and I pop out like this is for intention that goes way beyond, what I can understand physically at times. I understand, spiritually, but don't understand it physically and why I'm put in certain places, but standing tall. But look, I'm going to end my point here. To my generation and to the older generation, we must bridge the gap, and it's happening now, but we must do it faster.
Now, did he not say red, green, blue? It don't matter of color. Thanks, Jay Tatum. Once again, this man is not speaking hatred. We know that this is an older video. We've stated that earlier. You might didn't get here. But we're saying what is said in this video is echoing the same things in the settlements of what's going on right now. He's telling you what he was. So he's not motivated by all the attention that's going on now. He's telling you the exact same thing and did not change one bit. That's who he is. You will give Kanye more credit than you give Jay. Of course, Jay knows, but see, here's the thing. Jay knows what he is. Jay knows he's a phony. He knows he worships money. He worships wealth. He worships all that. He always wanted to be where Leo Cohen is and do all those things. He wanted to be there. He never had the makings. Hip hop was just a way to get in there. He cared about the money. He didn't care about rap. He was talking about quitting out his first 2 albums. He didn't care. He wanted to make money. That's all he wanted. Self-centered. That's why none of his records have that connection. He had to get somebody else and use them. He don't have the creativity. He's analytically great, but it's empty. There's no soul to it. That's why Nas songs hit more. And he couldn't understand how did people like Nas song and didn't like vibe with mine long enough. Jay-Z songs are for that moment. Once they're gone, like from that time period, you don't go back and listen to a lot of those songs. Big Pimpin' is the one of the only ones you'll go back to. You go to Jay-Z album, it might be 1-2 songs you pick off there, unless somebody else was on that record that had that energy that bring along with it. Like Blueprint, you can go through all those songs and play them. Why? Because it had the soul sound. Kanye brought the soul back. Brought back his soul, platinum and gold. He's not speaking hatred, but he loves his people, and that's a threat. Did y'all hear that? It said Kyrie calling on the millennials is very important and powerful. We are the middle between the silent generation and the boomer and the Gen Zs. That's true. You see that? He made a good statement there. Oh, yeah, if you wanted to support the page, what's up, Jose? That's not being hypocritical. You said, I thought you said it doesn't matter who a person worships. You shouldn't matter what Jay-Z worships if it's money. I didn't say it mattered. I'm telling you what he worships. Me telling you what a person worships does not affect me. I didn't tell you, I'm mad at Jay-Z, man, because he only worships money. I don't know. I'm just telling you what he worships, what he's about. So you know that he worships money, then you go ahead and worship. It's people that done that. What was it? Mammoth, the god of money that they used to worship. They thought the money itself was actually God. Mammon. Yeah, there it is. Mammon. They thought that was God. And actual money was who the rich people were gods, and the people without it weren't. Yeah, that didn't last. That didn't last because when they got sick, they were throwing all this, but they were covering them with money, putting all the coins on them because it was coins then, and made in images and gold and everything. Like, please bring them back, man. Wasn't gonna work. He gone. I knew a billionaire was passing away. They did everything. He went through every experimental everything to try to save his life. And here it is. He's what, 73? He was 73 years old or something. And he's, if I could just have 5 more years. And he told this guy who he saw there and said, I'm going to give you $1 million. And he was like, for what? He's like, just because I have it to give. And I don't, here, you're perfectly healthy. And it's going to waste. He's like, how old are you? Yeah, it's like, I'm 32. He's like, look at that, 32. I'm 73. I have billions of dollars, and I'm dying. And I've tried everything, and they can't seem to save me. So I'm just gonna give you $1 million right now. I don't even know you. And gave the guy $1 million. Wrote him off a thing for $1 million and said, go live your life, man. Enjoy it. But the money means nothing. He realized that at that point in time, what he was worshiping meant nothing. He didn't have any children. He didn't have a wife. He didn't have his family around. He was on his own. And when he died, he's in a mausoleum, and less than 7 people came to see him. That story was told by the million that he got gifted. When the billionaire gave him the $1 million, he came to the funeral. He was telling the story. So you've seen a man who was his father had passed away, and the funeral procession was going, like people were going down the streets. It was so many people that couldn't get into the church to say bye to a man who had less than probably $2,000 to his name. People wanted to come pay their respects to him. So let that sink in. It's not about the money.
You must do it faster. It's not happening. It's not happening. And the reason why I say it's not happening quick enough is because we had generations come before us and we're still doing the same ish. The same traumatic events are happening in our world. You know what I mean? We had a whole entire shooting in Buffalo, and there's no more news coverage anymore on the families. There's nothing. We had people of color die in Buffalo, and things took place that still limited the exposure and the coverage because it was based off of pure hatred, and it was an act of terrorism, and we won't call it that. I'm just telling y'all the truth right here, because when I say that my generation and the old generation has to bridge the gap, it's because our kids are watching everything that we do. They're watching everything that we do.
Everything.
You know what I'm saying? The kids are watching everything that we do. But we want to put them in the metaverse. We want to put them in front of the TV. We want to put them on Instagram. We want to put them on social media so quick. We want to give them the same diseases that we have right now. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. I'm not putting my kids through the system that's designed to distract and demean and destroy character based on race, culture, class. I'm a native and I'm a black man or African man. I had to identify that because that's what was given to me in this Euro-centralized society. I had to identify as a race. I had to identify as a culture. I had to identify what my religion is. But the reason why I'm speaking like this is because to my generation and to the older generation, we can't have this. That's enough talking. We can't have this.
See that? Speaking to the generations, we can't have this. Right, they're watching what we're not doing. Exactly. So what is the key thing that we need to learn here, people? We are not each other ops. That's what we need to stop right there. We are not each other's ops. Thanks, Ozzy. He said, my apologies, chat, for later. About to drink some Crown and collect my thoughts. I'm telling you, man, people are ready. So in case you just got here, let's let's go over what this whole suspension was all about. So we're gonna get people there. Now let's get over what the suspension was about. Oh yeah, the Saginaw Stem. Donate to the Saginaw Stem at saginawstem.org. It's already now they've partnered with United Way and will be doing donations for Thanksgiving as well. Another expansion from the Saginaw Stem, because that's what we do. Mm-hmm. Your God-given right as a civilian or an American. Yes, it happens quite a few times. We've seen it happen. But like I told you, Adam Silver was talking to him because they set this up to be after the election. This was starting a lot of controversy, and they have a lot of Jewish people running for office. So when you have a lot of Jewish people running for office, you do not want to cause this kind of stir with the black folks who they want. They depend on us to keep them electing them and putting them in office. But yet they want to demean you and keep you down. Mm-mm. Can't allow that. So they needed Kyrie Irving silenced. So by him being suspended, now he's not in the media. So Adam Silver could come talk to him now. They want him doing no more interviews. Now they said, oh, we had a productive conversation. Fool. He's not someone who preaches hate. He's not a person that projects anything hateful. When he promoted and sent the link to the movie, it was only to show the point that you went from being a Hebrew to being called a Negro. That was what he was trying to echo, that point, not like everything that was said in the documentary he's like standing by. But okay, it has some inaccuracies in there. He wasn't even preaching those points. He's preaching the points to try to show people this is where you come from. This is what you are. This is what he was trying to show. He wasn't trying to hate on anyone. He never posted any hate towards any human being. He's had Jewish teammates. He's had Ukrainians. He played in the NBA and they've all shown love. Kyrie has never been a problem. You've never seen one of them say, I hate Kyrie Irving. Him and Kevin Love was brothers. Him and when he was teammates with Gordon Hayward. Him and Gordon Hayward loved each other. They were like brothers. They used to play ball in school together. Like, are you kidding me? He's anything like y'all are painting this man out to be something that he is not for no reason. You said when Nick Cannon was explaining what bug breaking was to that guy, he was completely clueless. Yet we're supposed to feel that white. Exactly. And that's what they were trying to do to Kyrie Irving, to put him in his place. And when you do that, you're going to start to, build up some emotion in people and get them real pissed off. Oh yeah, shouts out to Ed Kwame Brown Bus Life. Because he went through the same persecution and still going through it right now. They did the same thing to Kwame Brown, except for it wasn't as detrimental as worldwide, like put on a platform. They put him on the real. Whenever his comments that were made, they went to try to shut him down and silence him on social media and YouTube and all that, because he's not a YouTuber. He's not gonna go fight and say, "Hey, this part here is wrong. This is where the numbers went off at." He's just gonna tell them. They're gonna say, "Yeah, yeah, yeah," and just going to make a video, and he just keep doing what he doing. And the people support him. And these fake and fraud people don't understand how people can come along and support us and don't get him that love, because they come from a realm of hate. They have no content, and their whole content is to try to hate on others. When you do that, and you're gonna have a whole bunch of people around you who have that fly trap mentality, and all y'all gonna get is stuck. And then when you're gonna try to pivot and do something else, nah, it ain't gonna work, bro. It ain't gonna work. Because see, the real can see the real, and the fake can definitely see the fake. What's up, T? All right, these people come from nothing, and they like to hate on us, hate on Kwame Brown for what? They made their whole career off of hating on Kwame Brown. And that's supposed to take them to stardom. No, it's not gonna take you to stardom, because you ain't gonna have the people behind you. They're gonna be like, okay, we here now. You didn't did him. What's the next step? Oh, we're gonna just hate on some more. Well, that's stupid. Yes, peace to Jay Williams, man, who put it all on the line when he didn't have to. That's another inaccuracy that people call the Willie Lynch system. Willie Lynch is the one who penned it. That system has been going on since the beginning of time, because we did it to each other. Dark skinned blacks was warring with light skinned blacks in Africa. It was the same thing. You couldn't even go, the Aborigines, they did not deal with any mixing of the race, because they felt that would be the end of their race. They will be replaced by this race. And it became big business. And if you look at Puerto Rico now, you look at all these different places where the people of color was darker than me. The whole island, Puerto Rico, was darker than me. And now you see where it is now. They're called the lost generations. I told you, in Australia, they kept all of those mixed kids together, start teaching them Catholic religion, and let them be raised on the island, and then took them on boats and took them after they go to war and moved those people to other areas. And this is known as the lost generation. So the system that was credited to Willie was done so to try to get order in there by favoring one side against another side, to make them be bitter more to them side than the actual master itself. Stockholm syndrome is different. Stockholm syndrome is where you fall in love with the capture. This is done in a different way. You don't love the capture. Like, I just hate that you look like one of us, and now he's nice to you and hate us. The jealousy of that, and just the despisedness of it. You hate him probably more than you would hate the person that put you in this predicament.
This joint can't fly anymore. It can't happen anymore. And I'm called crazy trying to grow up in this Eurocentric society, or this society that holds white supremacy over top of everything, which was created by them. I never created it. How can I be sane in a society that calls me crazy for trying to live a moral, just life, a principle-led life? I didn't grow up seeing color. I didn't grow up seeing, religion and culture, bro. It was taught to me. It was taught to me. I grew up in school with this stuff. I had experiences. So my generation, like, we still deal with it a lot, but our older generation dealt with it far more superior than we did, just because it was way out in the open. Now it's way more guarded and silent and subtle. All these isms and all these definitions that we put out here, and let me direct it back to my point. I can wake up every single day knowing that the system is right in front of me and I'm making money for the system. The system is what I need to survive, right? But the system also created an image of the way you're supposed to be out here, and that's just not reality. That's not reality.
That's right.
The image that's created of who we should be. Like, look on all these social media websites. Is everybody not trying to be the same?
Yep.
Is everybody not trying to be the same on all these social platforms? Is everybody not trying to be famous? Is everybody not trying to be liked? Is everybody not trying? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't. But y'all want to crucify the people that want to make change. But as soon as some shit pop off, everybody runs back. I don't get it. Everybody runs back to their Twitter, to their Instagram, to their TikTok. Everybody runs back to social. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody just runs back. Nothing gets done, nothing gets changed. And I'm not saying that I'm going to be the only one that's changing this thing, but damn, like, millennials, we gotta be better. We gotta be better. Millennials, our generation, this is for us, and y'all know who I'm talking to. Our generation, 1981 to 1996. That generation, and our older generation, I don't want to say older, like age, stuff like that. I'm just saying our more wise generation, our elders ahead of us, they got it. They got us. They're going to protect us. They're going to protect us. But first, we have to reclaim a few things. We have to eat well. That doesn't mean just going vegan. We have to eat well. You have to eat well. You have to treat your body right. You have to treat your mind right. You have to know what you're putting in here. You have to let go of things. You know what I'm saying? I'll give you an example. I had to let go of seeing my ancestors buried in places that had been covered up by lakes. I had to go see museums with nooses around my ancestors' necks. I had to go see lawmakers that are still living today that put a lot of my family members in bondage or in prison or oppressed them in some type of way. I had to go see that, and I had to let go of that energy, that hateful energy that I had, in order to move on in this world, to talk openly. Because if I didn't let it go, I would have been walking around as what? The angry black man. The angry black man. I had to, that's always the MO. If you're the angry black man, you can't get anything done. So I had to change up my approach and my perspective. Doesn't mean that I'm not ready for war out here, but it just means that I know who my enemy is and why they're doing what they're doing. And the reason why I express these things to you is because the millennials, we have the answers. We have the answers. It starts with our diet. It starts with our spiritual systems. It starts with breaking free out of this matrix, out of this system where you're not controlled by it. You're not run by it. And everybody calls the matrix, the system, whatever you want to describe it as, right? But we wake up every single day and you're not in control, are you? All right, then. So let me round in everything I said. I was going to do a post. I was going to do, something the norm, like, I was going to do something like that. But if we don't wake up, millennial generation, and if we don't partner with our elders, and if we don't teach our kids the right ways of living, meaning that when they're 4, 5, and 6, and 7 years old, and then when they turn 8 and they go to school, and all of a sudden racism becomes a thing, and all of a sudden like capitalism becomes a thing based on comparison, like who has the most money in the house, all that good stuff that we like to argue about. But I'm saying millennials, if we don't partner with the elders and we don't take care of Gen Z and the generation that come after, we're doomed, bro. We have the power. We are the majority. Y'all keep forgetting that. Y'all thought it was hard for me to stand on what I believe in, but it's not. It just means that you have to be ready to deal with the consequences, whatever comes that way. And again, I'm going to tell you, I'm going to repeat this. I don't know all the answers. I don't have all of them. I won't pretend like I do because there's so much information out there, but I will share this with you. And it's on my spirit and on my heart, and I've meditated on it, I prayed on it. I'm going to share it in a way that is positively reinforced. I have no hatred for people in my heart. I am a soul bound by this universe to do amazing things, even if it's small in someone else's perception, it's big in mine. It's my life, it's my journey, right? I never was born to see color, culture, class, all these things, right? I grew up in it. But now that I identify with my family lineage and I know where I come from, there's not anything that could really make me go into hiding anymore because I've seen it all. There's new things happening under the sun all the time, but they've convinced you that there's nothing new happening. You feel me? We're stronger together. We are way stronger together. Way stronger together. And the first thing that I want to see out here is all of us being able to have a conversation, right? And I don't say all of us, like it can't happen all at once, but all of us to have a conversation within our households where we address a lot of the stuff that happened in the past without getting too angry about it and leaving the table unheard and hurt. Because I'll tell you this, and again, I keep saying this in my last name, but look, my ancestors' pain and anxiety and fear is still in my DNA. It's still in the DNA. All the things that my family went through in the past and that I've seen, it went away. And the reason why I shouted out the millennial generation is because y'all feel this. Y'all feel this and y'all know. My generation knows. We grew up a certain type of way, and we're trying to change things, but every time we get back pushback, sometimes we give up. It's like, nah, F that. F that. F that, y'all. Nah, it's find your tribe season. Find your tribe. And not everybody is going to get along. I don't expect that. But what I am expecting is that the millennial generation, when we connect with our elders, show some respect for the wisdom that they have, but do not judge their ignorance. Do not judge them. Do not criticize what they do not know. Share the information. Give them the right portals. And to my younger generation that's watching this, Instagram comments, TikTok comments, living your life on social media and technology is not the end-all be-all, and that's not real life. It's a part of life, but it's not real life. So as we're fighting this fight, and I say we're, meaning there are races of people, specifically African people, Native people around the world that are fighting for their lives based on skin color. And because of that, there is always this veil that's over top of people's consciousness because they would like to keep you, meaning they, the system would like to keep you distracted physically, mentally, spiritually, emotionally. So all of that being said, my millennial generation, be better. Including holding me accountable, be better. We're not letting this world get away from teaching our kids something that don't belong in them. No. We're not. No. We're not letting the system teach our kids what they try to teach us and tell us that this is the way that the world goes. No, it does not. No, it does not. That's not the way we want it to go. So from 1981 to 1996, my generation, I am one of the responsible individuals that's calling on us to be better. We're having kids, bro. Come on. We're having kids out here. And they want me to be on here talking about the same things that I do all the time. But look, I'm too politically seasoned. You know what I mean? I'm too politically seasoned out here because that's the way I grew up. I grew up in this political system understanding that power plays all the time, but the real power is when you follow the green. And the green is something that gets defined by all these people that are playing out there. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? The green, the money. But while we're building our own, we have to just be aware that this is part of our conditioning and brainwashing that happened to us. So until we break free out of that, we're still going to see this world as what it's designed to be. But in order to design something better and new in you, got to start with diet, got to start with education. We have to start with ourselves, our spiritual systems. We have to let go of the old mold of being human in this world. Look at the 1600s, the 1700s, the 1800s, 1900s, the 2000s, and they're over here telling us that, oh no, like it's getting better. No, it's not. No, it's not. Y'all saying it's getting better. No, it's not.
Right. It's not getting better. Why everyone keep thinking because we have more, that makes it better? That doesn't make it better. It makes it worse. That now, because of technology, things have gotten easier, but it's made you worse. Before, your brain used to could remember phone numbers. Now, because you got a cell phone, you don't remember nobody's number no more. You might remember one number. I used to could remember up to 25 phone numbers. Stored all up in here. I can't do that now. Technology has made us lazy. Our diets, obesity is at an all-time level because we spend most of our time sitting down. Right, I had a pager, so I remember numbers. We've become so dependent on all of these different things that don't mean a lot to anybody in the world except for them. Technology has made us more complacent. Of course, that's what his job was. They thought it was make it more easier. It just made people more or less sufficient. They said they found a problem to fix. They said they found a fix to obesity. It's called no more fat shame. But why they don't preach that to you? Do you want to know why they don't? They don't preach you eating well because they don't want you living longer. The world is too overpopulated. If you're on the Patreon, you see part 1 of the robot series, and you're gonna start to really start asking questions when you start seeing actual footage of what they really doing out here and why they spending billions of dollars and why these corporations are spending this money on these robots and trying to make them look as human as possible. It's gonna blow your mind. Right, the biblical dietary law, that's what actually tell you that's the best way to eat. Well, you got to understand this too. Um, Just like I did with the Kareem video, we got the next video coming right behind it. So in about another hour, we're gonna drop that one. So that's gonna drop around 7 o'clock p.m. Central Time. So about 1 hour. They approved the video now, so the Jay Williams video you finna see with my add-on to that, and you're gonna want to see the add-on. It's gonna bring a lot of things to light. Well, our dietary, because I'm telling you, they have to make money in the process of your elimination. The reason why they was like, and why don't they just wipe us all out? Because we provided value, our creativity, something that a lot of them don't have. They rely a lot on our creativity, our ingenuity. We come up with a lot of these different things. So if you go down these roads and these tropes, then you have to find a way to escape it all. I know the Kareem video was like, whoa, nobody knew about it. Now, it was out there, but they didn't know really how deep it was. On the Patreon, I'm going to go even deeper on that subject because I went light on that one. Y'all don't even know how deep that really goes. Because remember, they didn't retaliate till about 4 years later. Oh, we're gonna get into that on the Patreon version that I didn't go into on this version that you heard this time. We're gonna go in there about actually how he left the Muslim faith and actually been living as a Christian Catholic man for these past 20, 30 odd years. And we're gonna go into that with Kareem. He's been fake Muslim. Yeah, we're gonna go into that. We're gonna go into all that, bro, on the Patreon version. I'm just trust me. What y'all thought y'all heard on there, that's scraping the surface. Now you finna get the layers, and you gonna get where Wilt Chamberlain was involved in. You gonna get all of this where Wilt came in at, and Elgin Baylor, where they came in at in this situation. Oh, you finna find out a whole lot, bro. You gonna find out a whole lot. Y'all, I told you, I'd have just that the Patreon versions is always gonna be more intense because now there's no filter on that. So we can give it to you raw. So that's where it just goes. We pick up right from there and we tell you the parts that we didn't tell you on that video. But no one even knew that. They don't promote that. So yeah, if you VIP Patreon, get ready to hold your head because that's gonna blow your mind.
We have kids picking up weapons and performing acts of violence. We have kids that are angry and depressed and don't know how to let their feelings be known. We have kids that are dealing with real, true, raw emotions, and they're going and they're running to social media to vent. The kids are running to social platforms to vent. If we don't teach them about the mind, body, and spirit and these spiritual systems, how do you expect them to learn it? How do you expect them to question authority when they know that the authority is not giving them what's best for them? That's all I'm saying. I'm not gonna get too, I'm not gonna get too preachy with y'all on this, because y'all probably hear this, from different spots, different places, different people. But in my generation, specifically the millennials, diet, health, well-being, forming our own spiritual system, we have the energy to shift this whole entire thing. So until we do that, we're just gonna keep fighting. But I love y'all. I love each one of y'all, and I pray for you guys as my relatives all the time. I pray to Creator and our ancestors all the time. Whether they call me crazy out here in this society, I don't give a fuck. I don't care. And like, being called crazy in America is like, it could make you billions of dollars. You know what I'm saying? Like, being called crazy in this insane society at times, like, it doesn't really faze anybody anymore. You know what I mean? Because now at this point, it's either we're doing something to further along our causes and make this revolution work, or we're not. And it doesn't look the same for everybody. Everybody has their own individual journey in this collective consciousness that we have out here. Everybody has their own journey. Everybody. So no, I don't identify as just one thing. You know what I mean? Like, nah, I identify as the truth of Creator, because I'm breathing and I'm able to do the things that I do every day, knowing that I don't have control of it all the time. So let's teach our kids about what we learned and how we grew up. Millennial generation. Come on. That's all I'm saying. Sound mind, sound spirit, sound body. So all my youngins out there, please, 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 please pay attention to what some of your older family members or relatives are saying. Your older brothers and sisters, please pay attention to them. Like, that's all. That's all, y'all. That's all.
Now, that's all he wanted to explain, and we're going to leave it there. Want to thank everybody for coming over. Hopefully, everybody subscribe here. Hit the notification bell. Don't forget to subscribe to @HD. Welcome to HD TV. Seahawks, Jose Rodriguez. Kwame Brown Bus Life, and then he got Kwame Brown Bus Life 2.0. Don't forget to subscribe to both of them pages. And that is the link to the Patreon. I put it in the description box for those who want to go over there and sign up and join. Yes, sir. When will that Kareem video come? The Kareem video, the second part, the uncut version of what went down. Oh, you finna find out the uncut version. It's finna come probably by tomorrow or late tonight, but it's gonna be on the Patreon. Don't worry. Oh, that'll be Patreon only. That's never coming on YouTube. Nah, you're gonna know why that ain't never coming to YouTube. For sure. I'm out.